I don't care what anyone says, but you do not know your husband until you're divorcing him as a stay-at-home mom.
I didn't realize how many people actually related to this fear, which is the fear of maybe one day not being able to have kids because we couldn't find a partner good enough to start a family with.
That is exactly the risk that women run by not settling for men. And that's why so many men get on these apps every day and try to convince women to settle for men. The issue, the topic is why women don't want to have children. Why women don't want to have children as much as they used to want to have children, and it's declining really fast. The want to have children is going down really, really fast. So in the near future, most women aren't going to be interested in having children, right? I've said it a million times. And I keep saying it's because of the behaviors of men. That is the number one thing. I did a video on it the other day. Like, we could talk about money and we could talk about the economy and we could talk about education and we could talk about childcare and we could talk about all of these things. But even in countries where these things are provided for their average citizen, the birth rate is still low and or declining. Women are not interested in having children with men because of men, period. Period, full stop. And I am fighting like hell to get men to understand that it is directly connected to our behaviors. Period. Women keep saying it in different ways, direct ways, sideways. You know what I mean? Like they're just saying it just straight up. Like, yeah, man, you guys are not good. You're not good partners. We're not interested. And the men are like, no, it's because y'all just want every man to be a millionaire. No, it's because or even my favorite one / least favorite one is now men are trying to act like they're the ones who don't want it. Like, please, sir. Please. We all know men are desperate to be with women. Like, stop. But I have I have some examples of what this may look like, and why women, a woman perfectly articulating this. But women they fear these types of situations. They do. They fear these types of situations.
I don't care what anyone says, but you do not know your husband until you're divorcing him as a stay-at-home mom. Until you've seen him look at you and go, you're gonna have to get a job now, you're gonna have to pay for it. Or what makes you think you're gonna get custody of the kids since you haven't worked in 10 years? You won't know who they are until they cut off all your resources. You don't know who they are until you see them shut off the electric bill because they're mad.
Iman Shumpert did that, if I'm not mistaken, to Tiana Taylor and her kids. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Everything she just said, I've heard other women who are going through these situations like talk about it openly. Like, yeah, their man did this. Everything she has said thus far, I have a video on every single thing she said. A woman saying out of her mouth, yeah, my husband did this to me, or my ex, or my soon-to-be ex-husband, whatever. This is wild. So just so you know, so this woman ain't anybody that, that sounds crazy to the guys. I always think women are making this shit up. There's so many examples of what she is saying playing out in real life.
Shut off the electric bill because they're mad that they lost control over you. So if you're a stay-at-home mom who is in the process of divorcing your husband, just know that you're going to see a side of him that you never wanted to see. And just know that once you get through the hard part, there is so much love and light on the other side, but it's a trip.
That's after him neglecting her for 15 years, him abusing her for 15 years. So you see what I'm saying? Like women they're losing the whole entire time and they lose more in the end. There's like this big, like lump sum loss in the end. And then finally they get free and, whatever. And hopefully they rebuild their lives. Most of the time they can't. It's fucking impossible to rebuild your life after you have been out of work for 10 or 15 or 12 or even 3 years. It's super duper tough. Like a lot of people never catch up. But yeah, women are hearing women talk about this and they don't want any parts of this.
I didn't realize how many people actually related to this fear, which is the fear of maybe one day not being able to have kids because we couldn't find a partner good enough to start a family with, start like be a wife, a husband too. And because the partner got to be good. The partner got to be good. I didn't realize that a lot of people like felt that way. It's like that's a really big fear of mine. And I feel like this fear isn't being talked about often or expressed because it's always like, be an independent woman, focus on yourself, focus on your life, your goals, like you don't need a man, like get rid of. And it's like, yes, like know your worth, yes to all those things. You got like, I know my worth, I know my value, like I know I gotta focus on my stuff, my career, whatever. But it's like, sure, you know what I mean? Like, sure, I still deep down want kids. I really want to be a mother. I want to be a wife. Like, I want to create life and have my own family and be loved and be able to be like, yeah, see, that's a little family I created. Like, I really want that so bad. And I can know my worth and like focus on myself and focus on my life and still want to create a family. And it just sucks because these men be playing in our faces. Because I'm not gonna settle for less. That's why I don't have no boyfriend, no man, or whatever. Because I'm not gonna take any scrap to just go and start having a kid. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna do that. I know my value. But then it's like, I don't know, like it makes me really sad to think that maybe because I know my worth enough, I might, I don't know, not have a family one day.
That is exactly the risk that women run by not settling for men. And that's why so many men get on these apps every day and try to convince women to settle for men. And that they get on these apps every day and try to convince women that their standards are too high. And they get on these apps every day and tell women that there's a bunch of good men out here. You guys aren't just giving them a chance, and so on and so on and so on. Oh, and I can't forget this. They get on these apps every day and try to get a woman to devalue herself. They chip away at her self-worth, right? That way she doesn't really know how much she's worth. She doesn't really know her real value to a man. You know what I'm saying? I akin it to I compare it to um when I would sell cars, like people trading in vehicles or even buying vehicles, but a lot of times trading in vehicles because it's your vehicle, right? People trading vehicles, they don't really know how much their car is worth. You can look up, you know what I'm saying? There's tools you can look, but you don't really know how much your car is worth. You don't know how much it's worth to that dealership. You don't know how little or how much it's worth to that dealership. You have no idea. It goes both ways. In some cases, you come in, you think your car is worth everything to, because it's meant everything to you. You overvalue it. Yeah, that happens sometimes. But most of the time, the vast majority of the time, the dealerships win when they buy your trade-ins because you don't know how much your trade-in is actually worth. You have no fucking idea, no clue, right? And they tell you a bunch of shit. There's a process that they do. They call it a walk around where they will take you outside, walk around your car and touch dents and touch little scrapes and stuff that we would clean up and knock out anyway in 5 seconds, and it doesn't devalue your car whatsoever. But you just touch little stuff and you know, and that way they want you to devalue your vehicle in your mind. This is literally what they teach you when you sell cars. This is a part of selling cars, right? They call it a walk around, and that is its sole purpose, to devalue the car in your mind. I know how much the car is worth. I know how much it's worth, but I don't want to give you that. Men devalue women every day doing a very similar thing. Oh, you women are fat. You women aren't as smart as you think you are. You like all day long. Women are ugly nowadays. That's a new thing they're saying. These women are ugly. They're less attractive than men. I take women on swimming. I take women to the swimming pool on a first date so I could see her makeup come off because y'all not as pretty without makeup or whatever. As if, first of all, duh. You know what I'm saying? Does it like makeup enhances your beauty? And I assume, that's what makeup is supposed to do, I should say. So if you're good at putting on makeup, yeah, you're not gonna look as good with your makeup off. You shouldn't. You shouldn't. I don't look as good out of a suit. I look better in a suit. You know what I'm saying? I don't look as good when I don't have my hair cut. Duh. Doesn't mean I'm unattractive. It doesn't mean my value should go lower. I just like, duh, like what the fuck? Of course. Who doesn't know that or think that like that's not the same thing as trying to say a woman like isn't attractive or isn't beautiful without makeup on? That's crazy, but that's what men would like to have women believe.
That makes me really sad. Cause like, bruh, in order to start a family, I'm gonna need a husband because one thing I want is a present father. I want a present father for my kids and a good one at that. So why, like, to go on dates and have these men ghost me, play in my face, lie, manipulate, not pursue, be so mean and evil and rude and like trick you, like these are not this is not like a man that I'm gonna marry. And then just to have that happen over and over and over again, boy, like it looks like oh my gosh, like it just makes me so sad because it's like, bro, is this gonna happen? Like, am I ever gonna get married? Like, there hasn't been an experience with a dude that I'm like, yes, that could be the husband to my kids. There hasn't been one. So it makes me feel like kind of hopeless, but I don't wanna, not hopeless, but like gives me kind of like, I don't wanna be negative either. Like, I wanna be positive, but like, dang, like these experiences are so bad. This dating scene is so bad. Like, it's so bad. I can focus on myself, I can get my dream career and whatever. But like, for me, I feel like creating a family is up there in importance. Like, I really, really want that. And just the thought of being like, bro, I'm gonna be single forever because these men want to be playing games. Oh, like it makes me so sad. It makes me so sad. I really want kids. Like, I want a little baby, little girl. I really want kids. So then don't get it. How much more can I focus on myself?
I really truly respect how strong women are. You know, like when I listen to a woman talk about how much they want to have kids or whatever the case may be, but yet they won't compromise and they won't settle to do so. And a lot of women like really be standing on business when it comes to that, as you can see based on the numbers. The birth rate is in the fucking garbage can. You know, that's awesome. But women are like really strong when it comes to that because a lot of people don't have the fortitude to stand on business in that way. Usually, you know, people get to they get caught between a rock and a hard place and they kind of just give in. You know what I mean? But it seems like women nowadays are just like way more dedicated to not being trapped and not being harmed because they can avoid it. I mean, I don't think that the women of old like weren't dedicated to it. I don't think they could be as dedicated to it. I think that's I think that's more what I think about that. But yeah, I do. I just respect women for that because I just think like men are so weak and men like our will is so like the only thing about our will is that strong is our will to oppress women. That's the strongest part about our will. Like that's the only thing I see men like overly dedicated to doing. But everything else, you can knock men over, you can control men, you can manipulate men, you know, move, sway men, and men give in to their desires and their lusts like all the fucking time. And women are like, nah, I know my ovaries are screaming, but you motherfuckers ain't worth it.
Like, men, you gotta do better. Like, we're the good men. This path of keep dating men and getting played, it's like, bro, it feels like I'm not even going a step further in this dating scene where I can potentially see a man as my husband. So yeah, I feel like this is not talked about enough. And if you see this, I feel you and I relate to you. I don't know what to tell you, low key, because I feel sad about it too. Because I want a family, and these men are playing. These men are playing in our faces. My gosh.
And you know what's even crazier about this too is that like, so again, the women are saying like for the men that be out here like these women is women, they men haters, and they're not. They hate the fact that y'all can't get y'all shit together, or we can't. They hate the fact that men are unwilling to grow. That's what they hate. They don't hate men. They love men in theory, In theory, they love men, and they love men as a group. Like they want to see the best for men. That's not what haters want. Haters don't want to see you be healthy and happy and productive. That's not what haters do. Men hate women. Men stop women from living their best lives. Women don't stop men from living their best lives. Women want men to thrive. They know it's a win, 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 win. Men are healthy and happy. Everybody's going to be healthy and happy. Women are healthy and happy. Everybody's, because if a man is healthy and happy, he'll remove his boot from the necks of women. You see what I'm saying? But right now, that's not the case. Men are not healthy and happy, and we haven't been for a long time since we have holistically bought into the patriarchy. We haven't been happy and healthy as men. So yeah, I love this conversation. Like she said, we need to have this conversation more often because it's something that men need constant reminders about, right? That we control all of this. We control it, but not in the way that men think. We control it because of our shitty behavior. So we can control it if we correct our behavior. You know what I mean? That's how we have all of this control. And I talk about it all the time, even interpersonally in relationships. The men control divorce. Nobody controls marriage. Nobody controls sex. Nobody controls any of that. Men control divorce, though. Men drive. We are the number one drivers in divorce. We are the reasons why women are leaving us. That's why that's why 70% of divorces are filed by women or initiated by women. We drove women to file for divorce. So we control divorce. We control whether we get divorced or not. A woman filing for divorce isn't her controlling if we get divorced or not. Men's behavior is what is controlling if men get divorced and women get divorced or not. So yeah, that's something we need to really hyper focus on so that maybe we could make some headway. I think we can. I think men need to we just need to be better people so that we can be healthier and more productive for society, not just to have children or not just to get with women.